Leonardo DiCaprio's latest role sparks massive online debate. Leonardo DiCaprio's latest role has sparked a fiery debate across social media and beyond, dividing critics and fans alike. DiCaprio, who is renowned for his transformational performances, plays a contentious historical character in a movie that explores difficult subjects like morality, power, and social change. While some praise his performance as a turning point in his career, others wonder about the morality of his participation in such a divisive endeavor. The film tackles more significant issues as the discussion heats up, including the accountability of artists, the boundary between artistic freedom and social responsibility, and the effect of such representations on public opinion. 1. The part that has enthralled viewers. Fans have been enthralled by Leonardo DiCaprio's most recent role, sparking a heated and divisive internet discussion. DiCaprio, who is well known for his transformational performances, has drawn a lot of attention for his choice to play a contentious historical character. The film, which was directed by a famous auteur, examines difficult subjects including morality, power, and social transformation. DiCaprio has become the center of debates about the film's creative value and moral ramifications because of his portrayal of a character whose actions are still controversial. Some observers hail the performance as a turning point in his career, while others wonder if it fits with his social and environmental activism. Although the film's depiction of a delicate historical time is nuanced, it has been charged of romanticizing troublesome parts of the characters' lives. Consequently, DiCaprio's performance and the movie have generated intense discussions about art, history, and social duty, further cementing the actor's reputation as a complicated and divisive figure in Hollywood. 2. The controversial historical figure. The main cause of conflict in DiCaprio's most recent portrayal is the historical figure he plays, a figure that has long been the subject of controversy. The figure is divisive, although some see him as a hero, others see him as a representation of exploitation and corruption. Critics claim that despite the film's efforts to present a complex picture, it ignores important moral issues and may even be a distortion of history. The movie runs the risk of downplaying the character's destructive deeds and wider historical significance by emphasizing their complexity as individuals. Debates concerning whether humanizing such a figure unintentionally romanticizes their legacy are sparked by this conflict between artistic license and historical veracity. A discussion concerning the harmony between accurate portrayal and artistic license has been sparked by DiCaprio's role. The movie compels viewers to consider the ethical conundrum of whether or not creative expression can be divorced from its possible influence on how we currently see historical events. This part puts DiCaprio at the center of a debate concerning the role that art plays in influencing how the general public views complicated, contentious people, challenging his own image. 3. Is DiCaprio's performance excellent or difficult? DiCaprio is highly acclaimed for his meticulous preparation and exceptional realism in portraying emotionally nuanced roles. His portrayal in his most recent movie has drawn praise and criticism. Because he fully inhabits the character's mind, capturing their charm and darker sides, many admirers view it as one of his best. Critics counter that DiCaprio's portrayal humanizes a contentious historical person, giving them more sympathy than they may merit. Despite his obvious talent, some believe his portrayal falls short in addressing the character's negative behavior, which could lead to a sanitized or exalted interpretation of history. Even though DiCaprio does a good job of capturing the character's inner turmoil, many feel the movie does not go far enough in exploring the moral implications of their behavior. A large portion of the current internet discussion has been generated by this division between admiring DiCaprio's outstanding performance and doubting the morality of the part. Emphasizing the responsibility artists may have when portraying complicated, contentious individuals, the conversation draws attention to the fine line that exists between an actor's skill and the wider societal impact that their parts might have. The vision of the director and its effects. The film's depiction of the historical figure is greatly influenced by the director's artistic vision, even though DiCaprio's performance has received a lot of praise. The filmmaker, who is renowned for pushing boundaries, argues that the movie is an artistic investigation that seeks to elicit contemplation rather than provide an accurate historical narrative. This argument highlights that narrative and emotional connection should take precedence over rigorous historical accuracy in film as an art form. But this viewpoint has drawn a lot of criticism from critics who contend that the movie veers too far from artistic interpretation to distortion. They argue that although artistic freedom is important, historical purity shouldn't be sacrificed for it, especially when depicting people whose deeds still have a strong detrimental impact on society today. Supporters argue that the artistic potential of historical films is limited by the expectation of a flawless portrayal of the past, and that historical films are intrinsically subjective. This argument has spurred a more general discussion regarding the obligations of filmmakers when dealing with delicate subjects and whether or not they ought to answer for the way history is portrayed to the general audience. 5. How social media shapes the debate. Social media sites have been crucial in influencing public opinion in the current digital era, and the controversy over DiCaprio's role is no different. Fans, critics, and business experts are battling it out in real time over the movie on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. These platforms have become overrun with memes, video essays, and long threads containing viewpoints and rebuttals, which have fueled both criticism and acclaim. Supporters have gathered around DiCaprio, posting articles and videos to highlight his commitment and the impact of his performance, frequently downplaying the moral dilemmas raised by the movie. Critics, on the other hand, use these same venues to express their dissatisfaction, claiming that the movie exploits delicate historical topics or promotes a damaging narrative. People can publicly discuss the film's themes and the larger ethical issues it highlights in this heated, divisive online environment. The film's controversy has turned out to be a potent illustration of how social media intensifies discussions, giving different viewpoints a forum while also widening the ideological gap. Social media has thus come to represent the film's core themes, which include the conflict between opposing worldviews, the conflict between historical memory and contemporary interpretation, and the influence of art on public opinion. 6. DiCaprio's legacy, a new challenge. A reputation for taking chances and selecting parts that test his audience's perceptions and push him as an actor has been the foundation of Leonardo DiCaprio's career. He has received critical acclaim and multiple honors, including an Oscar, for his commitment to playing nuanced, frequently ethically gray characters. But his most recent position poses a special threat to his legacy. His acting prowess is undeniable, but the controversy surrounding the movie makes one wonder if his creative decisions are consistent with his public persona. Being an outspoken social and environmental activist, DiCaprio frequently uses his position to promote causes such as indigenous rights and climate change action. Considering the film's contentious depiction of a historically troubling figure, several reviewers wonder if DiCaprio's involvement in this movie is consistent with his activist values. His participation in this role has sparked a debate that raises significant questions about whether actors should be free to choose their roles based on their own convictions, or if their personal advocacy should have an impact. In addition to DiCaprio, famous figures have a larger need to represent their ideals in their profession, especially when they play roles involving people with complicated histories. 7. A broader discussion on art, morality, and accountability. Fundamentally, the controversy around DiCaprio's most recent role goes beyond his performance and touches on more general cultural and moral debates around the place of art in society. How can artists reconcile their ethical obligations with their creative freedom? What moral responsibilities do performers and filmmakers have when portraying contentious issues? Does the subjective character of storytelling justify artistic license, or should art be subject to the same criteria as historical fact? The importance of film in reflecting and forming societal ideals is shown by this larger discussion, which solicits opinions from cultural critics, historians, and even other performers. Given that the actions of complicated historical people continue to influence contemporary perceptions, the controversy over DiCaprio's part highlights the obligation placed on artists to portray these figures. Whether or not viewers agree with the film's representation, it presents them with difficult realities and serves as a potent conversation starter. In this sense, the movie achieves its greatest goal, which is to elicit deep reflection and involve viewers in a meaningful discussion about ethics, history, and the influence of art on how we perceive the world. In conclusion, the convergence of art, history, and ethics has become a topic of intense and contentious discussion due to Leonardo DiCaprio's most recent role. Despite receiving a lot of accolades for its nuance and depth, his portrayal poses important queries regarding the obligations of performers and directors when playing divisive characters. There is now a greater debate over how art should address delicate subjects and whether it has the power to influence or skew public opinion due to the conflict between artistic freedom and historical authenticity. A reminder of the significant influence that performance and film can have on cultural ideals and collective memory is provided by this dispute. Let us know in the comments what you think about the Leonardo DiCaprio's latest role sparks massive online debate. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more captivating content on our YouTube channel.